all right, today's gonna be back day, and I'm feeling really good, And I'm not saying I'm not tired. I am extremely tired, you know. It's tough not eating that much, for so long, but I'm seeing results in it, and it is worth it, you know. And I am still maintaining quite a bit of my strength, you know. I'm pretty happy with that, and you know, I go into every workout and I'm happy. There's never a workout where, I might be hurting, I might be tired, I might be thirsty, hungry, whatever. But there is never a workout I regret. Not even if I get hurt. I'm smiling all the time because I love being in the gym. I love lifting weights. It's just so much fun to me. And even the lifts that I don't like too much, where they seem a little bit monotonous, I'm still getting to lift weights. This is fun. You gotta remember, some guys do, weightlifting or cardio for health benefits, and I think that's a secondary effect for me. I do this because I just enjoy it. I love lifting weights. That's why I have so much trouble just taking a conventional rest day, because I love being in the gym. It's soothing, it's fun. And I just love the gym so much. I'm always having a blast in there. No matter what I'm doing. If it's my favorite lifts like back or chest, the pump, or if I'm like really taking my time and focusing on my curls, making sure I'm really squeezing at the top, or push downs or anything like that, any of my problem areas, no matter what it is, I'm enjoying it. I might have a serious face, but inside, I'm just happy. I'm happy that I get to lift. I'm happy that I get to do this because it's fun. It is fun to me. Is that maybe a little weird? Yeah, but it's like some people, I still play video games for fun, but working out for me is just fun. Oh, nope, you're not going to knock over the camera. You are not going to knock over the camera. That's right, I caught you. I caught her. Her fun is, scratching my feet as I go by. Everybody's got their own things that they have. No, I see you going for it again. Okay, but what I'm saying is everybody has their own things they do for fun, and this is one of mine. It kind of sucks to not eat as much because I do love to eat. That is fun to me. Goodness. But ultimately, I'm doing this because I enjoy it. And that's the number one reason you should do this. I think what she's telling me is, one, she wants to, get at the camera, and two, it's time for me to head to the gym. Isn't that right? I'm sorry. I don't mean to get in your way. But, all right, I'm going to go ahead and make my pre-workout, and I'm going to head to the gym and hit some heavy-ass back. all right, back day's done, and I'm sad it's over. It was fun. This was really one of those workouts where I was just smiling the whole time, listening to my music. I had to get creative. I made my own little kind of like chest supported row, and man, that was great. And it was fun being kind of creative for once. I'm not the guy that's really able to create much, or like, not that I can't think outside of the box, but all these guys that are able to like put the machines together and take a bench, certain cable attachments, and then it's going to work this part of your serratus, and then it's going to work your obliques, that kind of thing, where they put a bunch of stuff together and they find this really odd exercise. It's almost like the stereotypical science-based lifter kind of thing, where people think, oh, it's a ridiculous exercise, but then you try it and you're like, wow, that they got something going. But it was just fun to figure that out, and I got a lot more recorded today. I was really happy about that. Different angles and a lot of exercises, so I'm happy about that. And I got a little more moving to do, but ultimately, another thing about the gym that I've realized is that after I finish it, whatever else happens in the day, I feel good. And gym is therapeutic for me. Even if the workout's not that great, don't hit my weight, don't hit my reps, not feeling the best. If I do it, I feel better than had I not. And I think that's something that, is kind of understated, as the benefits, the mental benefits from going to the gym, And mine it's a little different than, the conventional, feeling better because you look better in the mirror. That's not what I'm talking about. I just feel better after going to the gym. I never regret a workout. I never have trouble with a workout where I'm, damn, I hate this. I'm always having fun. And I think that's the key to my, my desire and passion in the sport. So, about 40-something days left. Feeling solid. Really working on my posing. I'm not going to be the leanest out there. I know that. I'm not going to be the biggest. And I'm trying to work my way around, one, clever posing to accentuate my strengths, limit my weaknesses, obviously. And to just practice, a routine, and to practice, holding those poses and really making sure, everything's symmetrical, that I don't have one hand higher than the other, or, just the little technical things. This is something that obviously it's more advanced lifters or advanced bodybuilders, are focused on, because, they've built so much mass and so much symmetry, but it just comes down to who poses better. That can make the difference. But I'm analytical in the point where, I like watching the posing videos. I like getting as much information in as I can. And so I'm really just trying to iron that out, because I'm also a little bit of a perfectionist, And I feel like if I do better posing, I'll put a better package out there than if I were to not. And considering I'm already not as lean as I'd like to be, and, I'm not as confident in my muscle mass, I don't know who's going to be there, but I want to put on my best. I want to put my best foot forward. And so I'm going to do everything I can to put, just the best. And even if it's a shitty showing, I'm going to be able to hang my hat on the fact that, I did my damnedest. I went out and did my cardio. I stuck to my diet. I lifted. I worked on my posing. Everything down to the last minute detail. I went out and I practiced. And I gave it everything I had. And at the end of the day, that's all you can have. You can only hang on to how hard you worked. Results may vary. That's true. I might not have the genetics of a Sam Sulek or a Chris Bumstead or anything like that. Anywhere close to that. But if I put in all the work, in the gym, in the kitchen, in my cardio, in my social life, everything I can to be the best, that's what's going to make me happy. Ultimately, I'm going to say, you know what? I tried my best. I gave it everything I had. No doubts about what I could have left on the table. So, one more meal today, posing practice, and that's it. So I'm just going to relax the rest of the day. Coach is trying to knock over the camera, so I'm going to see you guys tomorrow for legs. I hope you have a great rest of your day. Eat your protein, hit your lifts, and I will see you tomorrow.